this hour on VTV News. National Assembly Chairman meets with Japan's KOMEITO party leader. And businesses focus on quality standards for agricultural exports to China. In a world news, OPEC Plus delays oil output hike.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It's now 3 p.m. local time and you're watching VTV News. I'm Phie with the latest updates. Now, during his official visit to Japan on Friday morning, National Assembly Chairman Chen Thanh-Mẫn met with KOMEITO Party Chief Representative Saito Tetsuo. The Vietnamese National Assembly chairman expressed a desire to strengthen cooperation across all channels. He proposed maintaining regular delegation exchanges, high-level meetings, and sharing practical experiences between the two parties. He also suggested that the KOMEITO party continue fostering Vietnam-Japan cooperation in economy, trade, investment, and new generation ODA. National Assembly Chairman Chen Thanh-Mẫn expressed hope that Japanese businesses would help Vietnamese companies join global supply chains. Vietnam's socio-economic situation has shown positive developments in the final months of the year. According to the General Statistics Office, key indicators are strong, with total import-export turnover increasing by 15.4% to over $715 billion. FDI disbursement rising 7.1% to nearly $21.7 billion, and new foreign investment growing by 1% to $31.4 billion. The Consumer Price Index, or CPI, rose slightly by 0.13%. State budget investment capital reached $22.5 million, fulfilling 73.5% of the yearly target. The industrial sector also performed well, with the Industrial Production Index growing by 2.3% in November and 8.4% year-to-date. Hanoi Central Data Central was inaugurated at the Hoa Lạc High-Tech Park on Friday morning. Now, this milestone supports the city's digital transformation and development of digital government services. The data center employs cloud computing technology with synchronized multi-layered security, delivering enhanced performance, safety, and flexibility. The city has already migrated over 300 existing applications to the new infrastructure. With 6 layers of protection, the security monitoring system ensures maximum data safety and future scalability. Through a partnership with the VNPT Group, the system streamlines administrative procedures, offering citizens faster and more cost-effective online services. China is Vietnam's second-largest market for agricultural, forestry, and fishery imports, with exports reaching $12 billion in 10 months, up 16% year-on-year. Due to the country's close proximity, many goods, particularly fresh fruits and vegetables, are transported by road. In Lạng Sơn province, the digital border gate model reduces custom clearance time, helping preserve the quality of exports.
At Hữu Nghị border gate Lạng Sơn, container trucks now clear customs in just 5 to 10 minutes, down from over an hour, expediting the export of thousands of tons of fresh agricultural products to China.
The digital border gate streamlines procedures, enabling vehicles to clear customs in just 5 to 10 minutes with the support of the authorities.
Normally, we export about 8 to 10 vehicles to China. With the digital border gate, the process is much faster.
In the first 11 months of this year, goods traffic through Lạng Sön's border gates remained stable, averaging 1,300 vehicles per day and peaking at nearly 1,500. This number is expected to rise further during the 2 peak months leading up to TED.
The digital border gate still involves some manual processes. To enhance customs clearance efficiency, particularly for agricultural products, we will focus on optimizing its use by connecting agencies, increasing automation, streamlining procedures, and integrating it with customs programs.
By next year, Hyungny Border Gate is set to expand from 4 to 6 lanes. The use of AI, driverless vehicles, and automated management systems in goods delivery and receipt is expected to boost custom clearance capacity at road border gates by 4 to 5 times compared to current levels.
While fast custom clearance is important for agricultural trade between Vietnam and China, meeting China's import quality standards is essential. Each product has specific requirements that businesses must research and follow carefully to increase their output and export value.
During the recent Vietnam-China Agricultural, Forestry, and Fishery Trade Connection Forum, businesses and cooperatives voiced concerns about fresh fruit export conditions, processing factory standards, and export contract terms. Small-scale cooperatives face a particular challenge. They struggle to access information and find export markets, significantly limiting their expansion potential.
We're still very limited in terms of packaging and quality standards. The cooperative plans to expand production and is looking into building an HACCP or GM certified factory to meet export requirements.
This year, China has opened its market to more Vietnamese agricultural products, but each item is subject to specific regulations and quality standards. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development reports that some shipments still undergo 100% animal and plant quarantine, causing delays in customs clearance.
China has outlined technical standards for fresh and processed fruits and vegetables in Decrees 248 and 249. Many Vietnamese enterprises already meet these standards. In the near future, promoting fresh and frozen durian is expected to yield higher value. Chinese enterprises advise Vietnamese companies to focus on environmental considerations. They recommend using eco-friendly materials for agricultural and food product packaging.
Vietnam has exported 14 agricultural products to China and is finalizing procedures for fresh coconut, frozen durian, and crocodile. The Ministry of Agriculture and local business associations will work together to address technical challenges for businesses in the future.
Now, the government and the Ministry of Transport have requested that all the component projects of the North-South Expressway be completed at least 6 months ahead of schedule as part of the overall timeline for the second phase of the project. Consequently, construction teams are maintaining their presence on site, adhering to the principle of accelerating progress despite being in the rainy season.
Day and night, whenever the weather is favorable, construction activities continue at the Bai Vot Ham Ni project. To ensure completion ahead of schedule, the Project Management Board has reinforced the construction teams with new personnel and equipment.
Whenever the rain stops, we immediately proceed with the work. For example, in this area, we worked through the night.
The sections dealing with weak soil have begun unloading material to complete the asphalt paving for all component projects in the central region by the end of this year.
After a thorough inspection, we can say that the machinery, equipment, and materials have been prepared and transported to the construction site.
According to the Ministry of Finance, by the end of November 2024, the country had disbursed over $16.1 billion USD in public investment, more than 60% of the target set by the Prime Minister.
This year, we must address the key projects that are entering their final stages. If we don't do it well, reaching the 5-year targets will be very challenging.
Currently, 28 ministries, sectors, and 23 localities have disbursement rates lower than the national average. This will create significant pressure to achieve this year's disbursement target.
Now, before we move on to other important updates, let's take a look at the foreign exchange rate of today, December the 6th. Up next in VTV News, U.S. supports Vietnam in combating IUU fishing. And highland communities embrace digital commerce to boost local trade. Welcome back to VTV News. The United States has announced a $12.5 million aid package for Vietnam to strengthen its fishery surveillance force and combat illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. The assistance will fund the purchase of small boats, provide skill enhancement training, and develop programs for marine law enforcement training. This initiative coincides with the one-year anniversary of the two countries elevating their relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership. The Mekong Delta Data Center was inaugurated on Thursday in Cần Thơ City. The center will provide local authorities and citizens with vital information on issues such as riverbank and coastal erosion, land use changes, and crop structure monitoring. The data will help scientists develop solutions to make agriculture more resilient to climate change and rising sea levels. As a key tool supporting the Mekong Delta's economic and social development, the center aims to transform the region into a smart delta in the future. Social housing development aims to improve social security and support low-income workers. However, projects in Bắc Ninh province have faced misuse. Recently, over 700 foreigners were relocated for more than 500 social housing apartments in violation of regulations. This initiative was part of a broader effort to inspect these projects, remove illegal residents, and evaluate housing needs for foreign workers.
Over the past 2 months, this apartment management board has identified 120 foreigners residing in the building. Following a relocation campaign for illegal residents, only 12 cases remain unresolved, as these apartments are consistently found locked.
We coordinate with the management board and, if necessary, invite the ward committee, the Department of Construction, and the investor to inform the foreign residents.
Over 200 social housing apartments are occupied by foreigners, primarily through cohabitation or marriage with Vietnamese citizens. One homeowner explained that her apartment is registered solely in her and her children's names, as her South Korean husband had voluntarily waived ownership rights before the application process. This raises the question, is it legal for her husband to reside in this apartment?
We hope the authorities will provide clear guidance so that my husband and I can live long-term in this social housing project, as it has been our home for many years.
Currently, there are no specific regulations in the housing law or related documents that address these cases. We have requested guidance from the Ministry of Construction, and upon receiving their response, we will have a clear legal basis for handling these situations.
Authorities have identified 300 cases of social housing purchases or rentals that failed to meet eligibility requirements, resulting in 7 fines totaling $20,000. The Department of Construction has announced plans to allocate land specifically for housing projects designed for experts and foreign workers.
Now on Thursday, Hà Province celebrated the handover of its first new house under the 2024 program to eliminate temporary and dilapidated housing. The recipient, Chu Thong Tai, lives in Group 4, Tam Son Town, Quản Bạ District. The newly built 72 square meter house was completed in a remarkable 19 days, a record time for such housing programs. The total construction cost exceeded $3,940, with $2,364 provided by the government support, and the remainder funded through social contributions and the family's own resources. The development of the power grid is extremely difficult in remote areas of Quảng Trị province due to the rugged terrain and outdated infrastructure. However, with the efforts of electricity industry, the national power grid has been brought to most remote villages to improve all aspects of people's lives and create momentum for economic development.
Kaesong Hamlet, located in Krong Klang Town, Dak Rông District, was once an area of extreme hardship. Before 2004, the living conditions of its residents were challenging due to the lack of electricity. However, at the end of 2004, the Provincial People's Committee approved a project to provide electricity to all residential areas.
Since getting electricity, we have felt more comfortable. My living conditions are convenient. Having electricity is the happiest thing ever.
Thanks to electricity, my children can study conveniently. We all feel happy.
Since 2015, Quảng Trị province has connected 100% of villages and hamlets to the national power grid. In particular, in the province's mountainous areas, the electricity sector has invested in building more than 393,000 kilometers of power lines from 22 kV to 35 kV, with nearly 400 transformer stations.
Ethnic communities in Sapa Town, Lào Cai province are actively applying digital technology to their businesses. In this highland region, many local people have become proficient in promoting their traditional products on social media and e-commerce platforms. This has significantly boosted their product sales and income.
From traditional clothing, silver necklaces, and souvenir handicrafts, Si Chan and her friends are leveraging live streams to introduce these products to Thailand. Chan can sell 80 to 100 products and earn an average monthly income of nearly $800.
Since I started selling on social media, I've been able to sell more products. More international customers have discovered my products, and my income has increased significantly.
The Sapa Town Culture and Information Department offers training programs that teach locals e-commerce skills, online marketing, and video production. Through these courses, Vang Văn Trường has gained the expertise needed to effectively promote local specialty products.
I learned many things and skills that I can apply at home for our business in the future.
People can now sell their products from home, everything from handicrafts and medicinal herbs to processed salmon and sturgeon.
Beyond existing 3G and 4G infrastructure, Sapa has installed 12 5G towers. This technological advancement, combined with digital skill training, is enabling Sapa's highland communities to confidently participate in modern global commerce.
Elephant has been considered one of the Central Highlands' cultural icons for generations. However, the population of this species has declined significantly over the past decade in both the Central Highlands and Vietnam overall. Since 2019, the involvement of international experts has brought positive changes to Vietnam's elephant conservation efforts, particularly in technology applications and preservation planning.
Camera traps have proven invaluable for elephant conservation by capturing detailed images of their natural behaviors in the wild. However, the task of classifying and identifying individual elephants remains challenging, given the vast number of images gathered in each survey.
In the future, we can use AI or better technologies to reduce the time and human resources that our experts spend on data analysis.
On-the-ground training sessions on camera trap usage have been organized in elephant habitats like Vu Quang National Park, Ha Tin Province. These practical workshops have equipped wildlife officers, rangers, and conservation specialists from different provinces with skills to effectively deploy camera traps.
After attending this training course, my fellow trainees and I are now confident in setting up camera traps for elephant monitoring in our respective regions.
With the support of international organizations, the Forest Protection Department under the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has developed and implemented the National Action Plan for Elephant Conservation in Vietnam, VTV 2022. This plan will help Vietnam study elephant habitats and identify their ecological characteristics and health status.
VTV 2022 is expected to establish a unified database on elephant populations in different provinces. And from this database, we can develop appropriate conservation solutions for the future.
Vietnam's wild elephant population has plummeted from an estimated 1,500 to 2,000 individuals in the 1990s to fewer than 200 today. This dramatic decline demands urgent conservation action and greater community involvement to protect Vietnam's elephants.
Coming up next in our world news, Chinese embassy urges citizens to leave Syria. And India launches European Probe 3 space mission for solar exploration. The Chinese embassy in Syria issued an urgent notice to its citizens on Thursday, advising them to leave the country as soon as possible due to concerns about instability in the Middle Eastern country. According to China's embassy, the situation in northwestern Syria is intensifying, and the overall security situation continues to deteriorate. The embassy advises Chinese citizens in the country to make use of available commercial flights to return home or leave the country as soon as possible. Syria has long been a hotspot in the Middle East, with the years-long conflict causing serious economic, social, and humanitarian consequences. Since last week, rebels in Syria have launched surprise attacks and have taken control of the city of Aleppo and the central city of Hama on Thursday. The move was raised concerns over widespread conflicts in Syria, following Israel-Hamas and Israel-Hezbollah conflicts. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, and its allies, known collectively as OPEC+, agreed on Thursday to maintain current oil production levels through the first quarter of 2025. In a statement released on the OPEC website, 8 OPEC+ countries announced they would extend their voluntary output cuts of 2.2 million barrels per day, originally announced in November 2023, until the end of March 2025. These voluntary production cuts will gradually phase out monthly through September 2026 to maintain market stability. OPEC Plus indicated that the monthly increases could be paused or reversed depending on the market conditions. The Indian Space Research Organization ISRO on Thursday successfully launched a solar research satellite Probe 3, a European Space Agency mission. The launch took place at India's Satish Dhawan Space Center. The mission will attempt the first ever precision formation flying, where 2 satellites will fly together and maintain a fixed configuration in space to study the solar corona. According to the European Space Agency, the corona is the Sun's outermost and hottest atmospheric layer. As the birthplace of solar storms, it represents an era of research with both scientific and practical significance. The Probe 3 mission marks a significant milestone in space exploration. Monarch butterflies, among the largest of their species, are renowned for their epic migrations spanning up to 3,000 miles. This year, however, thousands of these butterflies have arrived late to their wintering grounds in Mexico's forests. Experts suggest this delay is likely to link to climate change. More details follow.
Every year, migratory monarchs undertake a journey of up to 2,000 miles, 3,000 kilometers, from the eastern United States and Canada to spend the winter among the forests of central and western Mexico.
The butterflies are just everywhere, and it's amazing to see because there's nowhere else you can see something like this in the world, right? And so it was quite beautiful.
However, there's a shift in their arrival time this year.
This is a situation that has not been experienced in past seasons. Normally, the butterflies arrive at the sanctuaries at the end of October, early November, and this time they did not arrive until the first half of November. This is something that is happening and is associated with the effects of climate change that we are experiencing today.
Another risk of the butterflies' delayed migration is that it could disrupt their feeding schedule, as they may arrive when their food plants are not in bloom.
It can have a series effect because, of course, migration is also associated with the availability of nectar on the migration route, both in the fall-winter migration and the spring migration.
Mexico's National Commission of Protected Natural Areas reported that monarch butterfly populations in Mexican forests dropped by nearly 60% during the 2023 to 2024 winter hibernation season. Experts cite the widespread use of herbicides and pesticides along migratory routes as a key factor, as these chemicals degrade breeding habitats and harm butterfly health.
And up next is the weather forecast. And that's the end of VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play or visit our YouTube channel, VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.